Are you looking for a Raspberry Pi OS alternative that gives you the latest Linux tech, a modern desktop as well as enterprise level security? Well, then Fedora might just be for you. Let's walk through installing Fedora on our Raspberry Pi and see how it stacks up against Raspberry Pi OS. All right, so we're going to jump right in. And first, we're going to go and retrieve our Fedora image that will work on our Pi. And we are at fedoraproject.org, and I'll leave this in the description. And we're going to go over to Get Fedora, and we're going to go over to where it says Workstation right here. Click on Download Now. And there are a number of different ISO images here that we can download. We want to look for the AARCH64 version for the ARM chip because we're using a Raspberry Pi. It's very, very important we get the raw version, the raw.xz version, not the ISO. I tried the ISO one a couple times because I'm an idiot, and that did not work. And we're going to be putting this on a Raspberry Pi 4. Fedora is not available yet on the Raspberry Pi 5. It's not officially supported. Try it if you want. I didn't, but it is not supported according to Fedora. We're using a Raspberry Pi 4. It's got 4 gigabytes of RAM, and the SD card is 32 gigabytes. I've already downloaded it, but you can click on the download link here, and it'll go to your desktop. And there's also a Fedora writer, which is available to write the image, and that is over on a GitHub site. That I'll leave in the description that you can download the Fedora writer. It's analogous to Balena Etcher as well as Raspberry Pi imagers. I did flash it initially on Balena Etcher and it works fine. So we're going to show you how to do it on the Fedora writer, which I've also downloaded. So we're going to extract the image that we downloaded. So we'll right click and go to extract all. And this keeps on opening up on my other monitor. Click on extract. Okay, so that has finished its syncing, and here is our raw file. So we're going to go ahead and flash this to our SD card. So we'll open up our Fedora writer, and it has a couple different options here for us. We can download the file, or we can select it. It does say select ISO, and that's fine. It isn't an ISO that we have, but we can still select that. That's no problem. Click on Next. And then I'm going to select the file. So click on Select. And then I'm going to go to my folder where the file is at. Click on that and click on Open. And here is our SD card here, 32 gigabyte. Click on Write. And let that do its thing. So that has finished. And we're going to pop out the SD card, put it in our Raspberry Pi, boot it up, and go from there. Okay, so we are booting up. And so here we are in our first boot up for our Fedora, and it is welcoming us with a language selection prompt, and we have English selected here as a check mark, so we'll click on Next, and we'll say English US for our keyboard as well, and then we're going to connect to our Wi-Fi network, and we'll click on Next, and our time zone, and click on Next, and we are going to add third-party repositories. And then click on Next. Put in a name. And we'll click on Next. Enter our password. And Next. Okay, so we are ready to rock and roll. And we are done with the setup. So click on Start Using Fedora Linux. And it's asking us if we want to take a tour, which is nice. So we'll click on Take Tour. And again, as we mentioned, we're on the Workstation edition, which is Fedora Linux 42. That's our newest release. We can use our Windows key to open up activities, and we'll show you that in a second. And it has a powerful search engine that we can use, and it has workspaces, which are very handy. And this also supports trackpads, which I did not know. I have not tested that, but that's always nice to know if we have gestures we can use. First and foremost with Fedora, it is based off of Red Hat. It is a Red Hat distribution, so it's not a Debian distribution. And it uses the Gnome desktop. So a couple of things about the Gnome desktop, and then we'll go back to the OS itself. We can hit our Windows key, or in this case, our Raspberry Pi key, and that opens up our activities, and we have our multiple workstations here, or our different desktops, if you will, that we can utilize. And at the bottom we have our browser, our Firefox browser, our file manager, our calendar, our other apps, our software, other apps that we have available. I find this a little easier to use than the Raspberry Pi OS. For me, the Raspberry Pi OS is rather clunky, maybe. It's just not as intuitive. A lot of the stuff I feel like is hidden in a lot of different menus. And with Fedora, it's just, right there at the bottom of the screen. You can click on the activities. If we go back, we can click on this upper left-hand corner here. That's the button we click for activities, or we can click on our Windows key and open it up the same way. And because this is based off of Red Hat, Fedora uses a different package manager. So with Debian, like with Raspberry Pi, we're used to using APT, as in Apple, Paul, Tom. With Fedora, it uses what's called dandified yum, or DNF to its friends. They work the same way. Debian uses what's called the Advanced Package Tool. They're sort of like cousins, if you will, but they're in the same family. They have the same usage, they're just a little bit different. As an example, if we use the DNF command, if we wanted to get updates, normally we would say sudo apt update, but because we're using Fedora, we would say DNF update. So it's just a little bit different in those regards. So another difference I wanted to show you is that we're first going to enable SSH on here real quick. And we'll do that by going into Secure Shell and flipping that on. If we go back to our terminal, okay, wanted to adjust that a little bit. That makes it a little better. So if I'm going to say SSH smacky 192.168.1.110, say yes. All right, so now we have a window for our Raspberry Pi 5, which is running Raspberry Pi OS. And let's open up another terminal. So one of the things I wanted to show you is if we look up the Linux kernel version, that's one of the things that I was talking about in the intro, is that Fedora has a more up-to-date Linux kernel. So if we say uname R, this gives us the kernel version. So the Linux kernel version on here is 6.14. If we go over to our Raspberry Pi and say uname R, kernel version is 6.22. So Linux kernel version is a little bit more accurate on Fedora, which is always nice to know. So last but not least, I wanted to talk a little bit about security. And so with Fedora, or rather with Debian uses something called AppArmor. And AppArmor is sort of a lighter version of security that's included. And it's not usually activated out of the box. So if I do a sudo AA-status, so you can see that it says module is loaded, but it's not mounted. So it just means that it's not activated, it's not running. It's an optional service that you can run. With Fedora, it uses what's called Cell Linux. So Cell Linux is more of an enterprise security. It's more for productivity. It's a little bit more proactive. It's usually loaded and active when you install it. So if I say, we say SE status, that's basically, it's called Cell Linux status. We can see that it's enabled and it's enforcing and it's basically live and it's checking and it's making sure that everything is copacetic. So it's a much more proactive, it's enterprise level security. It's much more robust. Whereas for Raspberry Pi, it's more for the average user. So it's more lightweight. It wants to be optional. Not a criticism, just an observation. So that is going to cover the major differences that I wanted to cover in Raspberry Pi OS versus Fedora. Let's go ahead and talk about the other key points and wrap things up. Okay, so to sum things up, installing Fedora on a Raspberry Pi gives you access to much newer kernel versions, a choice of modern desktop environments, and a stronger security feature like Cell Linux. When compared to the Raspberry Pi OS, Fedora is much more cutting edge, but slightly a little heavier, best suited for users who want a full-featured Linux experience on their Raspberry Pi. If you're looking for more stability and familiarity, maybe some more beginner features and lighter weight, Raspberry Pi is probably a good choice as well. Just depends on your preferences. Which one do you lean towards for your next project? Or if there's a different distro that you prefer on the Pi, please let us know in the comments. If you liked this video and found value, please let YouTube algorithms know by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to Mackie Tech. If you'd like help with projects like this, check out my Patreon for paid tiers with hands-on support. Thank you for watching. I'll be sure to talk to you very soon.